Hello, my dear friend. This is Dr.Turi. Today is March the 15th. We are right into my SOS to the world deadly windows. And again, if you look at the news, there's no way of denying the veracity of my predictions. Yesterday, when I made this video and I elaborated on Mr. Trump, our president's legacy, a racist legacy to be precise. I actually did not know that the most devastating crime against humanity in history of Christchurch in New Zealand would take place. And that tells you that my intuition is quite accurate. So if I was right in predicting this nasty, nasty terrorist attack, maybe you should pay a little bit more attention and share my work. But it's not the first time that I did it. If you recall, I was visited by the FBI twice, 4 FBI agents in 2 occasions, because I gave the exact dates of terrorist attacks in my own country, in the United States. And of course, those kids, maybe 35, 40 years old, FBI agent that came and visit me, they completely, entirely missed the essence of my work. That's deplorable. Just don't know what to do anymore to guide and help people. Today we are the 15, dead on that windows, 48 hours before and after. So that's when this nasty cosmic winds will be operational. And I told you yesterday a personal story in reference to Mercury, the planet of communication and transportation, being in retrograde, messing up everything and every plans. And this guy from Canada, I feel sorry for him. A little bit of misplaced expectation as far as I'm concerned in terms of helping him. I wanted to help him, guide him, and teach him, but it's not my child. I don't want to take care of him. He's a grown man, and he cannot make me responsible for his decisions. So I can only wish him luck, because he's got to have some gift like every one of us. Now, in reference to this nasty window, it's the beginning or ending of important phases of life. I can only repeat myself for those who don't check previous videos or those who don't read. The same negative cosmic winds were in place when I was on the radio and also on TV with Age of Truth TV with Lucas, preparing everybody to be ready for the beginning or ending of important phases of life. The next thing you know, I lost my mom. God bless you, my mom. And David Icke, on that very same day, was refused access, refused the visa to go and speak in Australia. So thousands and thousands of people in Australia suffered my predictions. They did. To them, it was an ending because David won't be there. Don't know for how long. I hope he succeeds in his legal battle, because I support the free speech, believe me, because I've been muted for years by some envious, negative, infected people who are not interested in, even cannot assimilate the truth I represent. So, in terms of important portions of life, Trump appointee resigned from Department of Veterans Affairs during the window. This guy obviously resigned, so he's got to have a new life. Okay, Facebook loses 2 top executives. Again, those 2 guys also have an ending. Analysis, explosive revelation, add new twist to Russia saga. Again, that is a new beginning. Judge ruled 40 unvaccinated children can't go back to school. Again, unplanned life for many. My quatrain and my keywords are so damn obvious, guys. But you got to be really, really stupid not to get it. But you're doing well because you keep listening to me. You keep coming back for more because you getting it. It took me 69 years to get to that level. You cannot do that in a few videos, but I mean, you're on your way. You're on your way to a voyage that will take you to what it means to be human and to understand what God, cosmic divinity, is all about and how He speaks to us through science. This is serious. Now, British lawmakers approve Brexit delay again. It's a new beginning. Let's keep going. 12 JLP senators who voted to terminate Trump's national emergency. Now you have 12 GOP senators that decided to end the crazy nightmare that's going on with our government and Trump's war. God's sake, we are in 2019. We're not in China building a wall 1,000 years ago. What's going on with this world? Now, 2 rockets fired from Gaza towards Tel Aviv, triggering sirens. Again, that is a new beginning for more trouble. Oh, the reptilians are having some serious fun, man. They really have fun with you. If you cannot understand what I'm saying or refuse to recognize those entities, hijack your body, your mind, and your soul and make you do stupid things like this sucker who went and killed so many Jewish people, so many innocent people, including children. What a subhuman. 5 people feel dead as school building collapse in Lagos. Again, end of life. 1 dead as bomb cyclone barrels down Midwest plain. End of a section of life. Believe me, a lot of people will be forced to relocate or to reevaluate their lives with what happened during that very negative SOS to the world killer window, literally, of March 15, 2019. Something memorable. And it's all there. It's all on my website. It's all in this little YouTube video shows. It's in my newsletter, which you must take the time to go and read. Catastrophic earthquakes, tsunami warning 1, 2, 3. Okay. And of course, 4 now. This is going to be the 4th one because this window is still operational. Now, I have the UCI of Bernie Sanders. I'm just showing it to you real fast. I'm using Nostradamus divine astrology, obviously. And then what you have here, if you want to know if how somebody's going to die, you refer to the 8th house. You see the 8th house is right here. That's the house of death. Now you can see that Bernie Sanders has the moon in there and he has Mars. Mars in the house of death means a violent death and makes people, especially those born in September, suffer a violent death, headaches or sinuses. Now with the moon in this house, if Bernie Sanders does not know the whereabouts of our closest satellite as she cruises through the belt of the zodiac, man, he's bound to do things with the public and get his ass kicked or break his neck again. I mean, when you think that people that are controlling our life, that are directing our destiny, are not cosmic conscious, is a complete disaster. There is no way for me to tell you how incredibly and critical it is for you to pay attention to the cosmic code and how God conduct the universe, because those planets are much more than dead rock hanging there for the sake of beauty, to please the scientists, to amuse the scientists, to send robot on Mars. There is so much more people. In fact, God created the stars and the heavens for more than the sake of beauty. He gave them to us for interpretations so that we may lead a safer, more productive life. So there you go. Mr. Bernie Sanders, crack his head up. Let me tell you a story. Many years ago, Gordon Maxwell, a good friend of mine, came to see me. And he came in my house with this guy, which I had never seen from Adam or Eve. Guy walk in. I had no idea he was a millionaire, a billionaire, and came in San Diego. But he's on a plane. But he was just dressed normal. He was a Levi's and a shirt. And he said, "Hey, Dr. Turi, I heard a lot of good things about you from Mr. Maxwell." He says, "Can you tell me something about me?" I look at him and I said, "You were born in September, yeah?" He said, "Hmm, Did you tell him that?" Maxwell said, "No." And I said, "I'll tell you what, I'm a Pisces and you're a Virgo. By mutual reception, the dragon in our seventh house of marriage is going to produce a lot of havoc with partners and what marriage. So I'm divorcing, and chances are that's what's next for you." He looked at me and he goes, "Oh my God, I'd love to do that." He grabbed an envelope in his back pocket and he said, "Look," he opened it and he says, "That was the divorce papers that was left on his desk that he grabbed before coming to see me and he read on his way to see me." He says, "Wow, Dr. Cherry, impressive." He says, "Can you tell me something else that nobody knows?" I asked him, I look at him and I said, "Do you have any headaches or sinuses problem, or do you have any stitches on your head?" He said, "Why would you ask me that?" I said, "Oh, because, uh, on your house of death, on your eighth house, you're an Aries, so you're prone to these things." He didn't understand a word that I said, but he said, yeah, actually, yeah." And he bent down and he showed me his head. He had a crack like this on the left side of his head, right here. Or the right side. I can't remember. Jeez, many years ago. Anyway, I look at this and I said, "Oh, well, I guess I was right." He says, "Jesus, you're amazing." And he says, "When I was a kid, I went into an argument and somebody crushed my skull with a baseball bat. So I don't feel nothing on the left side of my body." And he looked at me and he goes, "Hey, Dr. Tree, I'm going to ask you one really important question. How am I going to die?" I look at him and said, "Do you really want to know?" He goes, "Yes, I want to know." I said, "You're going to die twice." He says, "Excuse me? What?" He said, "You know what? I had faith in you. I had trust until now. I don't, nobody died twice." And he was laughing his head off. I said, "You asked me a question, I'll tell you. And then God knows, I hope I'm wrong. It's not fun to die twice." I got the story short. Everywhere I was, he was with me. And like old Virgo, he was very, very, he didn't trust people because he had the tail of the dragon in his mind. He had the tail of the dragon in Scorpio, and that makes him very sarcastic, very direct, always planning into conspiracy and all that good stuff. So I just figure him out in a second. Um, and one day he had a big conference for a new bank that he was opening, and he was in stage, and he says, all of a sudden in front of hundreds of people, he goes, "Hey, it's my good friend Dr. Turi. Come on stage and introduce me." So I was just, "What the hell did you do that?" I was in the front seat with all the VIPs. And then he said, "Now he's going to play piano." I was like, "What?" See, imagine if I had lied to Larry. Behind me, this big, huge curtain started to come up, and there was a big, huge grand piano. He looked at me, I look at him, and very confidently, I went to the piano and I started to play some Premier One. I had standing ovation. And since that day, this guy just literally had full faith in me. I remember I told him only once I went to the Royal School of Music and I was playing piano. That's to tell you what these people, what type of great extent they will go to find out if you're worth their trust. After that, they'll do anything for you. Everywhere I was, he was. And one day I said to him, "You know, Larry, I'm not a woman. I don't need anybody to pay for my flight, my hotels, and whatever it is. I have people that I should attend, so I won't be able to be with you." He said, "Well, name the price, Louis. Name the price. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,000, 10,000 a week. What do you want?" And when I was with him in his suite, I never seen so much cash my entire life. In fact, I was going down with huge bag of cash, giving some cash to the people that he was mingling with. I remember when I first arrived in his house, uh, He opened the limousine door. Everybody was looking at him, and he had guards with machine gun. And he got me inside his house. He said, "Get rid of your suit. Put one of my clothes here." Wow, I was amazed, and he became my friend. For his 50th birthday, he invited me in one of the islands that he owns, and he invited also a rabbi. And he said, "You know what, Louis? If you convince me, you should be able to convince a rabbi. It's going to be fun." He was a rabbi, me and him. The first thing I said to the rabbi is, "Were you born in October or in January?" He looked at me and he looked at Larry and says, "I was born in October. How do you know?" I said, "This is how God speaks to his children. The real God, the cosmic God that I know, that I teach, that I follow." And then we walk around, you know, many places around the island and the beaches and everywhere. And I could never really be sure if I convinced him out of his religion, because Libras, like those born in January or Capricorn, tend to go for the codification of thought. They tend to sign up for religion. They tend to go for man's religious folly. They don't understand that God never came down, wrote no books, but he made the stars. So it's been indoctrinated, and so his family for centuries, so it's impossible to go out of it. But I did my best, and I told him a few things that only me would know, and my student, of course, because you could do what I do. Now let's go to a few months later when I left him. Christmas Day, a call came in that I would never ever forget. He called me and he says, "Louis, you're the first one and you're the last one." I said, "What do you mean?" "I'm calling to say goodbye." I said, "Larry, why? What's wrong with you?" "You want me to come and see you?" Because I knew the depth of his thought. And I said, "I'm jumping in a plane. I'm going to be right there." He says, "No, we don't. I can't forgive others, but I can't forgive myself." He says, "Just call to say goodbye." I look at him and I said, "Larry, please, no, don't do that. Your family, your kids, my kids, they all have been cursed, literally. It's spoiled to death. They never worked a day of their life. All they do is take drugs. My wife dropped me, my kids." He was so depressed. Even my girlfriend cheated on me. Uh, no, thank you very much, Louis. I love you. And he hung up. Jesus, what to do? Nothing I could do. He was on the other side of the United States. I was in Phoenix, Arizona. Then telephone rang again. I said, "God, please let him be. Let it be Larry." It was the attorney. He said, "Hey, Louis, I'm just gonna tell you a bad news." I said, "Well, I know." He said, "What do you mean, you know?" I said, "Yeah, Larry is dead." He said, "How do you know?" I said, "Well, I guess I'm a psychic." I was really upset, really upset. And he said, "Well, I'll tell you what, by the way, the way he killed himself was very interesting." I said, "Yeah? What do you mean?" He said he went in his garage, he lay down, he put the rifle in his mouth, and he pulled the trigger. He blew up his entire left side of his brain, of his face. Then he walked all the way to his bedroom. He locked the door. He got his gun and he shot himself on the other side. My God. Yeah. My prediction came to pass. Imagine this guy walking to his bedroom with half of his head, literally. Maybe his last thought was me. Damn, Louis, you were right. I'm going to kill myself twice. I wrote a book, Beyond the Secret. It teaches you that the future is nothing else than the reincarnation of the thoughts. Every one of my book has a very specific message, but this one is something that you should read, because it tells you the incredible life I had, and as I always says to my students, incredible people, incredible experience, breed incredible people that have incredible wisdom to share. So, you know, maybe this is a new beginning for you to listen to what I said, and maybe a new beginning to understand me. Or maybe I scared the hell out of you and you would never talk to me again, because what I'm able to do. And of course, I have witnesses all along for all that I just said to you. It's not a story. It's a real experience, like every one of my other experience involving Draco, the extraterrestrials that entered my body, mind, and soul on June the 12th, 2012, and helped me to channel information from the divine. Well, I hate to leave you with such a dramatic negative note, but yeah, the fact of the matter is that he was infected. He was born with the tail of the dragon in his mind, which is his critical thinking, in the sign of Scorpio, which is the sign of death, and he stung himself to death. But he didn't know that he was going to do it twice. And I saw it. All right. Now, all right. I'm a little bit upset with just what I just said to you. So I just want to take this opportunity one more time, my friends. Be positive. If you could do something to help somebody, do it. And passing on my information is extraordinarily important. It's critical because I'm going and I'm offering a new SOS to the World Deadly window, not only in my previous radio and TV show, which you can check from dr.turi.com, but in my next radio show with George Norrie on Coast to Coast, where millions of people are going to hear me. So I only got one hour. I'm going to be doing another radio show for 2 hours from London through Skype, and then that should be live, or I will give you the link later on where I will add more information. So keep an eye on what I do, and work with the draconis, work with the light, be positive, because this world is all messed up, and it's all due to a president we have elected. And as I said in the other YouTube video show, like a pebble you throw in the water. When you elect a president, as did the German with Hitler, millions of people are forced to suffer his fate. And I've explained to you in the previous video why Trump is the way he is. And I'm not there to bash our president. I'm just here to use forensic astrology and present you with the undiluted truth. Now, are you going to be able to handle it or to deal with it or to want more about it? I don't know. But that's why I'm here. I'm here to help you, to guide you, and to build your own cosmic consciousness. Not an easy game, but it can be done. So work with me and talk about it. Oh, lastly, Facebook is always limiting me, blocking me, or muting me. So not much I can do. You're my only help. So provide it and bring some karma to you, okay? All right, guys, talk to you in a few days. I got a lot of things to do. Bye-bye.